You are braver than you believe, stronger than you look, and more prepared than you think.
You're tired of it, aren't you? Being dragged into pointless arguments that leave you feeling drained and powerless. You come armed with logic, but they fire back with emotion. You try to be reasonable, but they just want to win. Here's the truth. The biggest mistake you're making with your enemies is arguing with them in the first place. The moment you argue, you've already lost. But what if you could stop fighting and start winning? In this video, I'm going to show you how. We're about to unlock 9 ancient secrets of psychological warfare that will make your rivals defeat themselves. What we're talking about here goes way beyond simple debate tricks. This isn't about getting the last word. It's about making their last word completely irrelevant. This is a fundamental shift in how you understand power. For centuries, the greatest strategists, from Machiavelli to Sun Tzu, knew a brutal truth. Direct confrontation is a fool's game. It's costly, it's messy, and it gives your opponent a level playing field. The real art of victory is played in the mind. It's about creating a psychological landscape where your enemy, blinded by their own ego, walks right into their own defeat. These 9 secrets aren't just a list of tricks. They are a system, a new operating system for your mind that runs on emotional detachment, strategic silence, and controlled perception. This is the knowledge that lets you stay calm while others spiral into chaos. It's how you gain information while they expose their weaknesses, and how you command respect without ever asking for it. This is the forbidden knowledge of mental warfare, and once you get it, you will never see conflict the same way again. Secret 1. Wield silence as a weapon of psychological dominance. The first and most powerful secret is mastering silence. When provoked, the average person's instinct is to rush to their own defense. They explain, they justify, they counterattack. They fill the empty space with noise, desperate to prove their point. And that is a fatal error. You're playing their game on their terms. The second you react, you hand them control. A true strategist knows that silence isn't empty. It's a pressure chamber. When someone hits you with an accusation or an insult, and you respond with disciplined, unnerving silence, you defy all their expectations. Your opponent is geared up for a fight. They've loaded their verbal ammo. Your silence denies them a target. It creates a profound psychological vacuum. Think about it. An argument needs 2 people. By refusing to play, you don't just end the argument, you make it absurd. The accuser is left standing alone, shouting into a void. All that aggression boomerangs right back at them. Suddenly, they look foolish, unhinged, and desperate. The spotlight they tried to shine on you now illuminates their own lack of composure. Let's say you're in a team meeting, and a colleague, threatened by your success, decides to publicly challenge your data. "I'm not sure where you got these numbers," they say. "Frankly, I think they're misleading the team." The air gets tense. All eyes are on you. The amateur move? Immediately jumping in with, "That's not true. I double-checked them." Now you're on the defensive. The master of mental warfare does something else. You slowly turn to your accuser. No scowl, no anger. You just hold their gaze with a calm, neutral expression. And you say nothing. The silence stretches. 1 second. 2. 3. Everyone feels the weight of your non-reaction. The colleague, who expected a fiery rebuttal, starts to squirm. Their own mind races to fill the void. Did I overstep? Do they know something I don't? Why aren't they defending themselves? Maybe the numbers are right, and now I look like an idiot. After a long 5-second pause, you could calmly say to the group, "Let's move to the next slide," or even more devastatingly, look back at your accuser and ask quietly, "Are you suggesting I fabricated them?" You haven't argued. You've simply let their own aggression implode. The person who speaks first after that kind of silence almost always loses. Secret 2. Achieve a state of absolute emotional detachment. The second secret, and the bedrock for all the others, is mastering your own emotions. To defeat an enemy mentally, you have to conquer yourself first. Your emotions are the strings that puppet masters use to make you dance. Anger, fear, pride. In the hands of a skilled manipulator, these are levers to control you. The moment they can get a reaction, they've found a handle. Emotional detachment isn't about becoming a robot. It's about experiencing your emotions without being enslaved by them. It's the ability to feel that flash of anger, observe it, and then consciously decide not to act on it. That is the ultimate power. While your opponent is riding a chaotic storm of their own feelings, you are in the calm eye of the hurricane, observing and calculating. Think of it like armor. When someone insults you, the insult is an arrow. If you're emotionally exposed, it pierces you and forces a reaction. But if you're armored in detachment, the arrow just clinks off and falls harmlessly to the ground. You see it coming, you understand the intent, but you don't let it penetrate your inner calm. Let's take this into a personal relationship. Imagine someone who knows exactly how to make you feel guilty. During a disagreement, they pull out the classic, "After everything I've done for you, this is how you treat me." The untrained response is to either lash out in anger, "That's not fair," or crumble with guilt, "You're right, I'm sorry." Either way, you've lost. You've let them dictate your emotional reality. The master of mental warfare sees this for what it is, a tactic. You hear the words, you feel that initial sting of guilt, but you detach. You take a mental step back and analyze the strategy. You might respond with a calm, detached question. "I can see you're feeling hurt, but let's set that aside for a moment and look at the actual issue here. What is it specifically that you believe is unfair? See what just happened? You didn't take the bait. You acknowledged their feeling without accepting the blame. You gently steered the conversation away from the emotional swamp and back onto solid ground. For an emotional manipulator, this is infuriating. Their primary weapon, your reactivity, has just been neutralized. Secret 3. Let them defeat themselves through invisible boundaries. The third secret is a subtle but powerful method of control, establishing invisible boundaries. Most people think setting boundaries means loud confrontations and constant policing. That's exhausting, and it just leads to more arguments. A master of psychological dominance doesn't announce their boundaries. They enforce them with cold, consistent, and unspoken consequences. This is about conditioning the people around you. It's about letting them self-police their own behavior because they've learned what is and isn't acceptable in your presence. You don't need to shout that you demand respect. Your actions show that respect is the only currency you accept. Anything less is met not with anger, but with a chilling withdrawal of your attention. Humans are pattern-seeking creatures. They are constantly testing their environment. When they disrespect you and you get angry, you're giving them a powerful emotional reward. They got to you. They have power. But when they disrespect you and you simply withdraw, it creates confusion. Your warmth, your engagement, your very presence, these are valuable. When you silently revoke them, the offender feels the sudden cold. Imagine a friend who loves making sarcastic jokes at your expense in front of others. The standard response is to pull them aside later and say, "Hey, I don't like it when you do that." Maybe it works. Maybe it doesn't. Now, consider the master's approach. The next time you're in a group and they make that cutting joke, you don't react. You don't even flinch. You just slightly turn your body away and engage someone else in a warm, interesting conversation, completely ignoring the friend and their comment. To them, it's as if you suddenly vanished. No glares, no anger. You just erase them. The first time, they'll be confused. The second time, they'll feel a definite chill. By the third time, their brain will form a powerful connection. When I make that kind of joke, I become invisible. Without a single argument, you're training them. The psychological discomfort of being iced out is far more potent than any angry outburst. They'll start to censor themselves to avoid the cold consequence of your withdrawal. You haven't built a wall. You've created an invisible electric fence. They only know it's there when they touch it, and they quickly learn not to. Secret 4. Practice feigned modesty to lure out the arrogant. The fourth secret is a powerful tool of deception: feigned modesty. In a world obsessed with self-promotion, deliberately appearing weaker or less knowledgeable is a devastatingly effective tactic. It's the art of playing the fool to catch the fool. Your enemy's ego is your greatest ally. Arrogant people have a desperate need to feel superior. They're drawn to those they see as weaker, people they can lecture, correct, and dominate. By strategically understating your abilities or pretending ignorance, you are baiting a trap with the one thing they can't resist: a chance to show off. When you play the humble card, you do a few things at once. First, you completely disarm your opponent. They don't see you as a threat, so they lower their guard. They get comfortable, complacent, and most importantly, talkative. They'll spill their plans, their weaknesses, and their strategies, all to impress the naive person in front of them. Second, you give them the rope to hang themselves. By letting them take the lead, you give them every opportunity to make a mistake. Think about a high-stakes negotiation. You're facing a rival known for his arrogance. The conventional approach is to come in strong, leading to a head-on clash of egos. The master, however, uses feigned modesty. You walk into the meeting and say something like, "John, I'm a bit out of my depth here. Your team has a much better handle on these logistics than mine does. I was hoping you could walk me through your thinking." Instantly, John's whole demeanor changes. He's no longer in a fight. He's a teacher. His ego swells. He leans back and starts pontificating. "Well, Mark, it's actually quite simple." As he explains his brilliant plan, he's accidentally revealing his priorities, his budget limits, and where he's most inflexible. He's so focused on looking smart, he's not thinking strategically. Meanwhile, you're not a passive student. You're a spy gathering critical intelligence, asking dumb questions that guide him to reveal even more. "Oh, that's interesting. So you're saying you can't go over that staffing budget? I hadn't even thought of that." By the end, you have a complete map of his position. You can then slide your own proposal in, not as a demand, but as a humble suggestion that builds on his brilliant framework. You let him feel like the genius who led the way. while you quietly got exactly what you wanted. He'll walk away thinking he won, never realizing his own arrogance was the weapon you used against him. Secret 5. Master the economy of words and let actions drown them out. The 5th secret is the principle of verbal economy. Speak with intention, not volume. In any conflict, the person who is over-explaining is the person who is losing. Desperation is chatty. It feels the need to justify and rationalize, hoping one of its words will finally land. Power, on the other hand, is concise. It knows that the weight of a statement is often inversely proportional to its length. Your opponent's constant chatter isn't a sign of strength, it's a symptom of their anxiety. They're throwing verbal spaghetti at the wall, praying something sticks. Your job isn't to throw spaghetti back. It's to let them run out while you save your energy for one perfect, decisive moment. Speaking less makes you unreadable, and it makes your words count. Scarcity creates value, and that goes for your words too. Most importantly, it creates a space for your actions to speak for you. An enemy can argue with your words, but they can't argue with a delivered result. Imagine you're leading a project, and a critic on the team constantly attacks your strategy. They're loud and eloquent. "This will never work," they say. "We're heading for disaster." The amateur leader gets into a long debate, defending every point. This is a trap. It legitimizes the debate and puts you on their level. The master applies the economy of words. After the critic's long speech, you pause. You look at them calmly. Then you turn to the team and say with quiet confidence, "I've heard the concerns. We're sticking with the plan. Now, let's talk about next steps." That's it. No argument. No defense. Just a calm, firm reassertion of command. The message is clear. The debate is over. Now, you have to follow up with ruthless execution. While they complain, you work. When the project is completed successfully, on time and under budget, that success becomes the final word. It's an argument that can't be refuted. Their mountain of words is crushed by your single, undeniable deed. Secret 6. Control the narrative by revealing less and observing more. The 6th secret is the art of becoming a psychological black hole, a presence that reveals nothing but absorbs everything. In any interaction, there are two roles, the performer and the observer. The performer is focused on themselves, their words, their image. The observer is focused on everyone else. And in the game of power, the observer always holds the advantage. To defeat your enemies mentally, you have to become a master observer. This means suppressing the urge to talk about yourself, share your opinions, or tell your story. When people can't read you, they get unnerved. They project their own assumptions and fears onto you, and in doing so, they reveal everything about themselves. Your goal is to become a data-gathering expert. This isn't just about what people say, but how they say it. It's the flicker of envy in their eyes, the way their posture changes when a certain name is mentioned, the topics they desperately avoid. While your enemy is busy performing, you're quietly mapping their entire psychological profile. Let's say you're at a party, talking to a rival. This person is a classic performer, boasting, name-dropping, offering unsolicited opinions. The natural tendency is to compete, to counter their boast with your own. That's a mistake. Instead, you become the most interested person they've ever met. You ask open-ended questions. That's fascinating. How did you pull that off? What was the biggest challenge? What are you planning next? With each question, You're handing them a shovel and inviting them to dig. And they will, gladly. People love talking about themselves. As they talk, you're observing the data. You notice they only mention successes, revealing an insecurity about failure. They speak contemptuously of a former partner, revealing a weakness in loyalty. You offer very little about yourself. When they ask about you, you give a brief, polite, but vague answer and turn the spotlight right back on them. Oh, my project is going fine, but I'm much more interested in hearing about this deal you're closing. By the end, they'll walk away feeling brilliant, thinking you're a wonderful conversationalist. They have no new information about you. You, on the other hand, have a detailed map of their vulnerabilities. Secret 7. Decide slowly, execute swiftly. The 7th secret is a paradox of timing that separates the master from the amateur. Decide slowly and execute swiftly. Our world praises quick decisions as a sign of confidence, but that's a dangerous illusion. Hasty decisions are emotional decisions, and emotional decisions are almost always flawed. Real power lies in withstanding the pressure to act now, to embrace a period of calculated inaction, and then, once the decision is made, to strike with such sudden force that your enemy has no time to react. Deciding slowly is psychological warfare. When a crisis hits, everyone expects an immediate response. By refusing to be rushed, you signal that you are not controlled by the situation. You control it. This unnerving calm can itself break your enemy's morale. They're geared up for a battle, but you've refused to take the field, leaving them in a state of anxious, energy-draining anticipation. During this time, you're not idle. You're gathering intel and waiting for the perfect moment. Patience isn't passive, it's a weapon. Let's say a competitor launches a surprise marketing campaign, directly attacking your product. Your team is panicking. We have to do something now. The impulsive leader caves. They rush out a poorly conceived counter-ad and get drawn into a costly marketing war. The master strategist, however, decides slowly. We will not be rushed, they say. We will observe. For a week, or even 2, they do nothing. During this time, you're analyzing the competitor's campaign, reading customer reactions, identifying weaknesses. You're quietly reallocating resources, not for a counter-ad, but for a devastating product update that addresses the one true weakness their campaign managed to highlight. Then, you execute swiftly. The plan is in place. You act with overwhelming speed. You don't just announce the update. You launch it in a single, coordinated blast. The new version appears, with glowing testimonials and a new pricing structure. The effect is devastating. The competitor who was prepared for a marketing squabble now faces a fundamental shift in the landscape. Their entire campaign is instantly obsolete. They were prepared for a fist fight, and you dropped a tank on them. Your slow decision allowed you to see the real game, while your swift execution ensured a crushing victory. Secret 8. Control availability to create perceived value and power. The 8th secret is a law of social physics, as unbreakable as gravity. Scarcity creates value. That which is always available is taken for granted. That which is rare is coveted. This applies to goods, information, and most powerfully, to you. To command respect, you must master the art of controlling your own availability. This isn't about playing hard to get. It's a strategic calculation of your presence. There's pressure to be constantly accessible, to answer every email instantly, attend every meeting, be available for every chat. This is a trap. The more available you are, the less valuable your time, opinion, and presence become. By making yourself strategically scarce, you flip this dynamic. Your absence becomes more powerful than your presence. When you're not always in the room, people wonder what you're thinking. When you do appear, it's an event. Your words carry more weight. Imagine a micromanager who feels entitled to your time, 24/7. Arguing is futile. Instead, you start controlling your availability. Block out deep work sessions in your calendar. Stop replying to emails after a certain hour. When they ask for an impromptu chat, you might say calmly, "I can't right now, but I have a 15-minute slot open tomorrow at 10:30. Will that work?" Notice the power shift. You're not refusing. You're offering an alternative on your terms. You're framing your time as a finite resource. At first, the manager may be annoyed, but they will adapt. They will subconsciously value your time more because they had to wait for it. Then, you escalate. You decline non-essential meetings. Send an email. "I won't be able to make this meeting, but please send the key takeaways. My focus right now is on delivering the quarterly report." You are trading low-value presence for high-value execution. Over time, you'll be seen as someone who is serious and in command, a hallmark of a leader. Your enemy, starved of the access they took for granted, loses their power over you. You've won, not by confrontation, but by strategically disappearing. Secret 9. Never defend, always reframe and redirect. The 9th and final secret is a master-level communication tactic. Never defend, always reframe and redirect. When an enemy attacks you, their goal is to force you into a defensive position. The act of defending yourself, even if you're right, is inherently weak. It accepts their frame and validates their right to question you. You're on their turf, playing by their rules. The true master refuses to play. When faced with an attack, you don't defend the point. You seize control of the frame, the underlying context of the conversation, and you redirect it. Let's break it down. Imagine a rival stands up in a meeting and says, "Your plan is far too risky and will endanger the company. You're being reckless." The defensive response, "It's not reckless. I've run the numbers." You've fallen into the trap. The conversation is now about your alleged recklessness. The redirecting response, you look at them with a calm, analytical gaze. You don't address the reckless charge at all. Instead, you reframe the entire conversation. You say, "It's interesting that you frame innovation as risk, while I frame it as the cost of survival. The biggest risk, in my opinion, is standing still and becoming obsolete." So the real question for this team isn't, how do we avoid risk, but how do we choose to be courageous? See the power in that? You've elevated the conversation from a petty accusation, reckless, to a grand debate about the company's future, innovation versus stagnation. You are now the forward-thinking visionary, and your opponent is the fearful bureaucrat, forced to argue against courage. Here's another redirect, the motive reframe. When they call your plan reckless, you could say, "I appreciate you bringing up risk, but I think there are two kinds of concerns. Concerns for the company's welfare and concerns for one's own comfortable position. We need to be clear which one we're really discussing here." Without saying it directly, you've redirected the spotlight from your plan onto their selfish motive. In both cases, you refuse to be a defendant in their courtroom. You became the judge in yours. These 9 secrets are more than tactics. They are a complete philosophy of power. They are a declaration of independence from the petty arguments and emotional games that drain your energy. The core principle is this: true strength is not in the force of your arguments, but in the discipline of your mind. You've learned to wield silence as a weapon, to achieve emotional detachment, and to build invisible boundaries that command respect. You know how to use feigned modesty to turn an enemy's ego into your greatest tool, and how to use the economy of words so your actions can speak for you. You've seen how to become an observer who absorbs everything, how to decide slowly and execute with devastating speed, and how to use your very availability as a source of power. And finally, you know how to stop defending and start reframing the entire reality of a conflict. This is a path of discipline. It requires you to wage war, first and foremost, against your own impulses. But the reward is the ultimate form of power, the power to win without fighting, and to watch your enemies, entangled in their own emotions, bring about their own defeat. You have the blueprint. Now the real work begins. If these principles hit home, subscribe for more deep dives into the psychology of power and strategy, and click the notification bell so you never miss a lesson. Down in the comments, share which of these 9 secrets you're going to start using first. And if you're ready to keep going, watch our next video on the 6 quiet mind tricks for unshakable mental toughness. Remember, the world respects strength, and the greatest strength is a mind that cannot be broken.